What's up, guys? It's me, Shane Guy. In this video, we will be talking about the PS4 and Sony and their press conference and releases from E3 2014. The other videos featured the Xbox and EA and Ubisoft, and there will be a Nintendo one when Nintendo gives their panel. But this one is for the PS4 and Sony, so let's begin. The biggest thing that everyone wants to know from Sony is where's Destiny. Destiny was promised to us last year, still isn't here, but they have released a date for July 17th for a beta. The exclusive beta is only on the PS4 and the PS3, and the alpha is also available this Thursday. The alpha is available now. The beta is available in July. There will be exclusive DLC for Destiny only on the PlayStation 4, and you can't get it on any other console, but it is said that Destiny will port to the other consoles, except for probably Wii U, very soon, like next year.
And then, new game, Far Cry 4. A lot of us already heard about the game. They released the box art. There was some controversy over that. But the game looks really nice. They have multiplayer co-op along for the storyline as well. And one thing I noticed during the game, they had these nicely rendered elephants. I mean, they were big elephants. They were nice elephants.
Elephants.
It's in India, so elephants.
Dead Island 2 came out. Now, to be honest, it was a total CGI trailer. I couldn't really tell what was going on. There's no actual gameplay released yet, so the game isn't that far into development. But we do know that it takes place on an island and there's zombies, and it's just a sequel to the last one, for the most part.
Alright, and then Diablo 3, they added a new map that's based on The Last of Us. As we know, Last of Us was that game that made people cry as they play. I mean, this guy, he was telling me how he pretty much bawled like a little girl, so...
But I don't have a PlayStation, so I had to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Something else coming out is Diablo... Oh, you're talking about Battlefield Hardline. All of the other... basically press releases we're talking about this game. If you haven't seen our other videos, Battlefield Hardline is basically a cops and robbers based game with policemen and jail people.
And tasers.
And so basically you have to steal stuff and the cops have to stop you. This is actually in open beta, closed beta right now. You can get into the beta if you apply on their website. If you have Origin on your PC.
Or a PS4 or PS3.
Or a PS4, you can get into the exclusive beta right now if they accept you. There was a gameplay trailer. There's already people streaming this on Twitch. It looks really interesting, so that is available to apply for.
And then after that, Disney Infinity. If you're into that, they they're gonna add exclusive DLC. You can buy more figures. I think the only reason I'll play the game is to get a hold of those Frozen figures. But the game, I guess, looks pretty interesting. They added more stuff to it, so I guess that's something to look out for if you're a big Disney fan.
Magicka 2. Magicka recently came out with something called Wizard Wars, which is another free game. But there was an original Magicka game. They're making a sequel to that game in which the 4 different wizards team up again and go back out and do wizard stuff.
Looks awesome. And then another game. This one was pretty interesting. It's called No Man's Sky. It's actually made by an indie developer. It'll be out for PC and PS4. And the game will feature a pretty much space exploration where you can go between planets and all that. And it's also rendered in beautiful 3D. I mean, the graphics looked really unique. I have to say I like the art style as well. And it seems like it has a lot of potential. And it was by an indie developer. So you can imagine an indie developer walking out on stage at E3 and be like, okay, hey guys, this is my game. So it looks pretty interesting. It has lots of potential.
Another thing that's coming out is Mortal Kombat X. There's a new Mortal Kombat game coming out. The graphics have been completely redone. There's a lot more elements to play in with the different levels and stuff. The fatalities are completely different. There are new characters, new everything. I think it looks interesting enough.
The graphics are really, really nice.
They haven't released they've released gameplay of the game, so we do know that it is somewhat far into development, but we don't know when it is coming out yet.
There's a new Metal Gear Solid coming out, Metal Gear Solid 5, that continues on the story of Big Boss or Snake. They don't really release much. They release a CGI trailer of all your favorite characters dying, but other than that, they didn't really release any gameplay or anything, but it looks interesting. And if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan like me, then you'll probably be interested in it.
There's a new GTA 5 announcement that this fall it will be coming to the PS4 and to all the other new-gen consoles. Unfortunately, this is really sad for a lot of PC players like ourselves, they have not yet released it for the PC. Now, whether this was a mistake, whether they forgot to do it, or whether or not they've just given up on development for PC, we don't know. But what we do know is that they have not clarified whether or not it will be coming to PC.
They're probably terrified of piracy.
Indeed.
And then, also, looks really nice. The Batman Arkham Knight all the Batman games, like the Arkham City games, have been really nice. I mean, I liked Arkham City. I liked Arkham Asylum. I didn't play Arkham Origins, but I'm pretty sure it might have been good. Who knows? But the Arkham Knight, the gameplay footage they showed was really nice. I mean, it looked pretty real.
A lot of people were calling that game Grand Theft Batman due to the scenes and stuff and the driving, and they've just completely redone. It's more open world than any of the other games. Another thing that's coming out is the white PS4 and Destiny bundle, which you can buy when it comes out, which I don't think they give a date for that. But it's PS4, but it's white, and it comes with Destiny. So that'll probably be when Destiny actually comes out.
And then they have another game called The Order. It's based from all the other past games. And we didn't really show us much, but we know it's supposed to be sort of like a horror game, It showed the main protagonist shooting down some werewolves and other beasts around that type. So, it's an old style game. You're in some sort of, I forgot if it was London or Britain, or someplace like that.
There is some new DLC coming out for the game Infamous. It's called Infamous First Light. It will be a standalone DLC game, so I don't think you need the actual game to play it, because it is standalone.
You play as a female protagonist, who I think looks pretty interesting.
This will be available this August, so you can get your hands on that then.
And then, Little Big Planet 3. You're like me and you like Little Big Planet games. This is pretty interesting. I mean, Little Big Planet games are sort of along that lines where, oh, good, a new game, Little Big Planet. And, they featured a lot of cool new items and stuff. And they're also, what I find interesting is they're more sack creatures. So at the game, the old games, you always play as Sackboy. You always change what he looks like, you give him a new costume. But now they actually have different shapes of Sackboy. What they showed was a dog, the original Sackboy, and they also showed, a more larger form of him, I guess. But he can also, change his style. He can go taller, or shorter, or wider, or narrow, so that was pretty interesting.
The new addition of these new characters is indeed for the fact that the game is now a local co-op, and online co-op, so you can now play using different characters and get through puzzles with them.
Well, it's always been like that, but this one they expanded upon it, so it's supposed to be a lot better.
The new game, The Last of Us, you might remember coming out, was a huge hit last year, went for many different game awards last year, was almost Game of the Year. They are coming out with an HD remake, which I thought the game was already pretty HD, but they're just completely redoing all of the graphics and making it more HD, and that should be available on July 29th.
And then a remaster of actually a pretty classic game, Grim Fandango. I did not expect that. I myself never actually played the game, but my sister has. She said it's pretty good game when I did speak to her about it. That was a long time ago. But I guess they're remaking it, so that should be really interesting if you're interested in that too. So
that will be for both the PS4 and the Vita, which they seem to have included. But it is only for PS4 and Sony consoles. It will not be released elsewhere. Let It Die as a new game. We've not actually seen any gameplay footage or CGI footage from it.
Well, there was actually a CGI trailer. But
that wasn't CGI. That was live action. They had a live action trailer featuring what the game was supposed to be.
There's a bunch of people getting torn, tearing each other apart.
Yeah, we just know it's violent. That's all we know.
It's called Let It Die.
So we don't know anything on that other than that there's people that die, and that's about it.
And then there's another game called Abzu. I think that's what it's called. It's by the people who made Journey, so it's a pretty good game. I mean, I looked at Journey gameplay, beautiful game. And this one has sort of the same art style, a little different. It's what we see. It's about a guy who can live underwater, I guess. He's going across all these different creatures and all that stuff. So that looks really interesting. I mean, it's from Journey, so it should be worth looking at, actually, maybe even buying. So
now, for many Journey fans, you might realize Journey is a very good game for multiplayer and just beautiful artwork. The multiplayer aspect does appear to be missing from this new game, Abzu, but hopefully they will include it in later development of the game. We don't know a release date on that yet, but we are hoping that it's just as good as Journey was. There's a new game called Project Morpheus.
Actually, that's not a game, it's hardware.
Sorry, my bad. If you're familiar with the Oculus Rift software, obviously 3D headset, look around. It is basically Sony's take on that. It's called the Morpheus. It's a virtual reality device. They haven't announced a release date or anything on. They just said that it was indeed in production and that progress was being made.
They're opening a new I guess service to the PlayStation to the whole setup. They have a PlayStation services called PlayStation Now, where it's pretty much you could have access to all your different PlayStation I guess services and tools and games on different products. So say you're playing a game on your PS4, but your friend needs to use that TV, so you can go to the other TV if you have one of those what are those specialized TVs for, or a little box you just connect to it, and you can play all your PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation 3 games without having to actually have the console right in front of you. It also includes, if you're like me, I like the PlayStation 1 Classics. They include that within the service, so that's pretty interesting as well.
New software also is called the PlayStation TV. Now, the PlayStation TV
is an actual TV.
It's a TV that plays PlayStation. So you don't have to buy a PS4, you just buy a PlayStation TV.
It doesn't play all the games, but it still has a lot of interesting services to it, and it's only $99, as they say.
It's $99, and it's actually available this fall. So more information will obviously be released on that upon the release date coming soon.
And then this I found interesting. They're making a Ratchet and Clank movie, I guess. It's supposed to come to theaters soon. They didn't really give it. I think they gave a release date, but I didn't even catch it. But it's supposed to be interesting. I mean, we both like Ratchet and Clank, and I guess they're making movies, so that'll be pretty interesting.
That will be in theaters along with they're making a new remastered Ratchet and Clank, the original, in HD. Also, so Sony finished up their press conference with Uncharted 4. It will be released in 2015. That's all we know, unfortunately. A lot of people were actually disappointed that there wasn't more to Sony, but hopefully there will be more announced as the year progresses and we get closer to that 2015 release date.
One thing we didn't catch from Sony that we were really expecting, The Last Guardian, the successor to Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, we were expecting to see something about it because they've been talking about the production. They let us know that they are making it, so we were hoping to see something about it, but they didn't release anything, did they? Mm-hmm. No, they didn't, so that's a little disappointing, but maybe we'll see it in stores, like, randomly pop up or something, so that'll be interesting to see.
So that's all that Sony had. Nintendo has not yet released their lineup of games. Sony right now has the trophy for best presentation at E3. They've really cleaned up their act from last year. They've learned from their mistakes, and they understand what it's going to take if they're going to succeed. So hopefully we will be able to see these content come out this year. No more delays like Destiny has been. Hopefully they'll keep to their word this year and let us have the content as promised.
Also, we'd like to give a shout out to this guy. When we were watching the stream, there was another guy who was watching it. He was streaming on Twitch. Really interesting guy. Was it Dan's Gaming?
His name is Dan's Gaming.
Yeah, pretty cool guy. So if you can find him on Twitch, probably should follow and maybe subscribe. You happen to have $5.
That'll do it for E3 for Sony. There will be another video for Nintendo once they do their panel, which they have not yet done. They're actually coming on very soon. The Xbox, EA, and Ubisoft are all already up, and they will be linked in the description. And check it out, and we hope you enjoyed E3 this year.